This is Star Wars: The Last Command, Part 3 of 6. We pick up right where Part 2 ended, with Card and the smugglers under attack from an Imperial task force. They defeat the small Imperial force, but lose one of their own in the battle. This convinces the smugglers to band together to fight the Empire. Card tells them that the plan is to track down the clone pipeline. Ferrier says that he will try and get more ships for them, and leaves. We learn that Ferrier has double-crossed Card. It was he who secretly persuaded the Imperial task force to attack the smugglers, and participated in the battle in order to gain Card's trust. Thrawn, however, is less than impressed. By ordering the strike on the smugglers' meeting, he says Ferrier has united the smugglers against the Empire. He threatens Ferrier, giving him one last chance if he can find and tell him all of Card's plans. Thrawn tells Leia that they need to convince the smugglers that it was Card who was behind the attack so that the smugglers' alliance breaks down. He is also sure that the New Republic believes Mara Jade was behind the intrusion into the palace on Coruscant, thanks to Major Himron's accusation that we saw in the last comic. Back on Coruscant, Mara has been placed under house arrest. Han tries to convince the New Republic that Mara is innocent, but they refuse to listen. Luke returns, and reveals to Han that Mara was the Emperor's hand. Leia interrogates Mara, asking her why she saved the twins. Mara says that she couldn't stand the thought of Thrawn getting his hands on them. She tells Leia about the Empire's cloning facilities on Wayland. Leia instructs her not to tell anyone else that she knows this, since Delta Source, the information leak from Coruscant, is still active. Luke, Leia, Han and Lando hatch a plan to break Mara out and head to Wayland with her. Leia is to stay on Coruscant with Winter and the twins. Meanwhile, Card and the smugglers launch a surprise attack on the Imperial shipyard at Bilbringi. There they discover that Thrawn is planning to use asteroids to attack Coruscant. They manage to blow up an unfinished Star Destroyer before fleeing. Aboard the Chimera, Sabaoth confronts Thrawn yet again. He says that Thrawn's plan to kidnap Leia and the twins has failed, and orders that Thrawn take him to Coruscant himself. When Sabaoth sees the asteroids, he believes Thrawn is going to destroy the planet with Leia and the twins still on it. Thrawn tells him that that's not the plan. In the meantime, the Nogri, disguised as Jawas, pledge their service to Leia. Luke, Han and Lando break Mara out, and, aboard the Millennium Falcon, they set off for Wayland. Soon after, Thrawn's forces reach Coruscant. Sabaoth, sensing something is off, demands a ship that can take him to Wayland. Thrawn and Leia briefly discuss the Coruscant leak, Delta Source, before launching their assault. On the ground on Coruscant, Leia enlists the help of a young slicer formerly on Card's crew, Ghent, to crack the Imperial code. To Leia's frustration, Bel Iblis initially refuses to take command of Coruscant's defenses. Eventually, he sorts out his differences with Mon Mothma, and agrees to join the fight. Thrawn launches 22 cloaked asteroids to orbit Coruscant, in addition to 265 false launches. He reveals one of the cloaked asteroids, and then destroys it so the New Republic can see what's going on. Since the remaining asteroids are cloaked, the New Republic has no way to know which of the launches were real and which were false. This will force them to keep the planetary shields up, allowing nothing to get in or out. This effectively neutralizes Coruscant. In the aftermath of the battle, Ghent has discovered the encrypted code from Delta Source, the Coruscant leak. Leia tells him not to tell anyone else about it. She now has the key to Delta Source, and has to find a way to use it before it's too late. And that's how Part 3 of The Last Command ends.